Now,
recovery doesn't start tomorrow.
calling all angels.
Recovery starts right now. And here to help is Rated R for Recovery.
Calling all you angels now. Calling all angels now. Calling all you angels.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Rated R for Recovery. That's Rated R, the number 4, recovery.com. I'm an addict and alcoholic. My name's John.
John.
My co-host is...
I'm an alcoholic. My name's Joy.
Hi,
Welcome
Joy.
to the show.
We are brought to you by JCI Solutions, painting contractors, both commercial and residential. The Next Step Treatment Facility. Brian Edwards, criminal defense attorney. Shamrock Bail Bonds. Phoenix House. Celebrate Recovery. White Sands. And our partner, ladies and gentlemen, that would be Kimmies Recovery Zone.
Woo-hoo.
We have Devron. Devron, raise your hand because you've been back there every week. Devron's selling our T-shirts.
You gotta sell one.
This show can be heard on iTunes, Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora, Podcast Playground.com, and did I say Apple Music? I did. And just yeah, and then we do a raffle every day. We've got all sorts of fun stuff. One of the things we want to mention, Joy, is next week. And next week we honor the first responders.
Starts at a special time, yeah?
It does. It does. It starts at starts at 6 o'clock with the Sheriff's Department serving ice cream and hot dogs, which is what they should be doing, I guess. Anyway, so I'm sorry, that was a little sarcasm. Anyway, so the Sheriff's Department will be here serving ice cream and hot dogs in the parking lot. They'll have there'll be just tons of festive things going on.
Love it.
Yeah, and that is next week, Thursday, September 11th, and we'll have Detective Steve on from the New York City Police Department, who was on duty that day in Manhattan at Ground Zero, and he's going to tell us his experience of what happened. Because recovery comes in all different shapes and sizes. You know, there's recovery from drugs and alcohol. There's recovery from codependency, overeating, gambling, and then there's grief recovery.
There
And
is. And trauma recovery.
And trauma recovery, which is the next one. Yeah, absolutely. And so we're going to hear about what it was like for him to be on duty that day. Then we have Party in the Park, Kimmies Recovery Zone.
Yee-hoo.
That is on the following Saturday. No, that's next Saturday, excuse me. That's Saturday the 10th or the 13th.
13th.
The 13th of September.
Whichever one is Saturday.
It
That's
is,
the one.
yes, the 13th of September. And that is at, why don't you tell us where that is? The Collaboratorium is where it is. I just didn't want to say it because I already screw up that name. Collaboratorium, right? Yeah,
Somebody just tells me, and then I show up.
You know what we're doing?
We're doing a live show like we've never done before.
We are doing a remote broadcast. Rated R for Recovery will be on site doing a remote broadcast that day and interviewing all the different participants in that in there. And my friend Long John Bafar will be there as part of his documentary on recovery, doing some filming, and it's all things recovery related. Everything. You got it all. Mental health, substance abuse, food. Not that we were recovering from food particularly, but maybe, yeah. And there will be food there, is what I meant. And it's just a family event, and it's there's a special speaker coming as well, and it should be a lot of fun. It always is a little fun.
All right.
Okay, so let's start the first segment of the show, shall we?
Rated R for Recovery is a recovery-based, faith-driven program bringing hope, healing, and restoration to individuals and families impacted by addiction. Through interviews, sharing information, and entertainment, we strive to be a catalyst for change for all who wish to recover.
We do this show every Thursday night in front of a studio audience, and for those of you that are watching at home or in the comfort of your own whatever, in any part of the world you can watch this show. And to prove that we have live people here, would you guys make some noise right now?
As opposed to the dead people that we usually have.
All right, on to our first guest, which is this gentleman sitting next to me. I met him, well, he'll let him tell you where he met me. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking to Edwin. Give Edwin a nice round of applause. Edwin, go ahead. Tell us a little bit about what you were like.
All right, so my name is Edwin, and
Get on up here.
I'm a recovering addict from drugs and alcohol. I met John when I was in the 28-day program in TLC.
Well, wait. How did you get to a 28-day program?
Drugs and alcohol.
Well, why don't you give us a little description of where it took you? Where did drugs and alcohol take you?
So,
Where did
All
it
right.
start?
all right, for me, it started in when I was really young. I would drink at the age of 15 till like pass out. And I know there's a lot of friends in Jersey that are watching this right now. So now you're going to see why it makes sense. Everything's going to make sense to you guys right now. Just because, see, my addiction comes from sexual molestation. So from the age of 5 to the age of 8, I was sexually molested. And one time when I first came here to this country, there was like a family party going on. And drugs were, done open by my uncles. So I knew what cocaine was at the age of 10. I knew how to do it. Weed was like cigarettes. But cocaine was the most I've seen like my uncles indulge in. And I was probably around 11. And I went to the bathroom and there was a family party going on. And I found a bag of cocaine on the floor. So I did it. And all that pain from the sexual molestation, the first time I did that bag of coke, it's like, holy crap, this is what I needed. Because that numbed that feeling for a long, for the first time. And so it was like, holy crap, I never forgot that feeling from the numbing feeling that I got from cocaine that day. And I was 11 years old, man, if 11. Probably at 15 was when I started like really like being in the streets a lot. And
What part of this is Jersey, right?
this is
you said?
Jersey,
Okay.
yeah. So my uncles, were drug dealers and all that. So I had access to drugs, in large amounts. And I would just go up to the third floor, open the oven, and take whatever I needed. And
Take it out of the oven, is that what
yeah,
you
because
said?
they would keep it in the oven.
All right.
So, I started selling, and then I did it again. And this time, it just brought back that numbing feeling that I was trying to, mask.
Let me ask you a question. How far between when you found that first bag when you were 11 and
Yeah.
you tried it?
Yeah.
Between then and what you're talking about now is from 11 to 15?
15, yeah,
So
15.
after that first time, you said that felt really good, but you did not try it again.
Yeah, because I just didn't have I didn't find another bag on the floor.
Okay, very good. Yeah, all right.
But
Then all of a sudden
the
it's in the oven.
feeling, the feeling I got of being able to at age 11 and feeling that numbing feeling was what I've been trying to look for. It was like the Band-Aid to the sexual molestation.
Sure.
So once I had free range on cocaine like that, it was like off to the races because I always wanted that numbing feeling at that age. And I would drink till I passed out at that age, 15, 16, and nobody understood why. Why do you drink like that? And I couldn't say why.
Sure. Get it.
But,
Shame, guilt.
Yeah.
That's hard to deal with.
So that's the root of my addiction.
Was this excuse me, but was this molestation coming from a family member?
No, it was from the neighbor.
Okay.
And it wasn't just me. It was like all the kids in the neighborhood.
Did somebody else end up taking care of this?
No, they
person?
actually moved when I was 8, and so it was that's when I truly find out that it was happening to other kids too.
So you got
yeah.
out of there
Yeah,
by
well,
moving.
so the thing was that my mom left when I was 1, and then my dad left when I was 5. They came here, and so as soon as my dad left, it started happening immediately.
Yeah.
So, so I had no like parental. I met my mom when I was 10 years old for the first time, so, yeah, that was rough.
This is a lot of stuff, little children, little boys, little
Yeah.
girls are used to having mom and dad around
Yeah.
when they're raised. If they're, and not to have that nurturing, and then all of
Yeah.
a sudden mom pops in when you're what, 10 years
10
old?
10 years old, yeah.
How did you react to that when mom just showed up?
She was just, like, I didn't know what motherly love was probably until my 30s, because I always had a resentment towards my mom. So, luckily, like, probably in my 40s, yeah. Because, like, 5 years before she passed away, we really had this conversation about what happened to me. Because I never said that to anybody. And we kind of fixed, 'cause
Well,
it was,
let's go back to now. You got your uncles are dealing. You're selling little bits on the side. You're 15 years old. Do you find the drugs and you're drinking till you pass out every night to numb that feeling? Does it increase? Is the amount that
Yeah.
you're using increasing from there?
yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Do you go to junior high school? Do you go to school? Middle school?
I dropped out in 7th grade, and they actually were going to lock my mom up.
Who's raising you at this time?
My mom. Yeah, I'm bouncing back and forth between my mom and my grandmother.
Okay. All right.
But they couldn't really control me.
Right.
By this, I was.
Incorrigible.
Yeah.
Were there gangs involved at this time?
Nah, I was
Not-
never no gang member.
Okay. All right. Just asking questions.
All right, so then what happened?
So then time went by, and just my drinking got out of hand. My entire family are heavy drinkers, everybody. My father's a recovered alcoholic. My mom was like, she was a dancer. And she went out every weekend and danced. And, it's different over there, growing up. But, there was a lot of drinking, for sure, and drugs being done in the open in front of all.
Okay.
The
So
kids, yeah.
so you drop out of school.
Then they made me go back.
And,
I went back.
let's focus on the feelings that you had going through this time period in your life when the drugs and alcohol were increasing. You had mentioned that you drank till you passed out, and your parents, or no, your family would say, "Why do you drink so much?" But yet you refer to your family as hard drinkers as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, did you take it to a different level than they did?
No, pretty much the same. Like, I drank with them at family parties.
Right, okay.
Even as 15-year-olds, like, they would give us liquor.
Yeah.
I think it's a different culture. Like, it's acceptable.
Well, it's a drug culture, and
Yeah.
if you're
Yeah.
in that, if you grow up in that drug culture, and if your parents are in it, then
Yeah.
you're in it.
Yeah. So my parents were from the World War II generation, and they were a drinking culture. They all, they went to the parties on the weekend, and they drank, and we had alcohol in the house, and that's how I first drank. Now, back to you though. You're using progressives. Eventually, you meet a woman,
Yeah.
and you marry her, correct?
Yeah.
All right. Tell us a little bit about how that relationship spiraled out of control.
Oh, with her, it was, so I had just came off, I was in the hospital actually, and I came home, and now this was a woman that I was friends with for 6 years, and I chased her from day one. And I thought I would have to move mountains to get this woman's attention. And she heard what I was going through, and she actually called me and was like,
What were you going through?
so 2018, I had 4 suicide attempts in 6 months over because I never spoke about the sexual molestation at all, and I finally was able to say to my mom, this is why, because she's like, why you don't want to live? And so I was like, this is why. So the second I said that, what happened to me, it was like, listen, the sun shined different. the reds were different. It was just like this whole weight was taken off, and I couldn't believe that I said it finally.
Right, and that's a big part of it.
Yeah. So
Just
once I was
speaking
able
up.
to say that, then I said it to my cousin, then I said it, to people that were really close to me. And from that day on, like I try to talk about it because for me it's healthy.
It's
to
healthy,
speak about
very
it.
healthy.
And I can't believe that the damage that I caused myself because of that was greater than any damage that those people did to me when I was a little kid, and I speak about it now.
So
Because I know a lot of people have been through that, so.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good job, by the way. It's hard to talk about certain things even to this day. I know how that is.
Yeah.
So you meet this girl,
Yeah.
right? Because you eventually get married, don't you?
Yeah. So with her, it was drugs from day one.
Partying. That's how you met her.
From day one, from the first day we hung out. And I was fresh out the hospital like 2 weeks
From
the last
From the
suicide
last-
attempt.
Okay.
But she brought like so much joy and lust and the drug and it was like, I was finally able to leave coke alone, and she introduced me to meth. And,
Sorry.
and that's how I got off coke. But
I was finally able to quit drinking, but I
Yeah.
shot heroin instead.
Yes.
So
But,
real quickly, a lot of us, and I'm not talking about anybody in particular, put one drug down and replace it with another drug.
Yeah.
And what I've learned is we always will gravitate back to our drug of choice.
Yeah, everybody has a lock in their brain, and whatever key fits that lock.
A good way of putting it, Joy. Good way of putting it. So now you're starting to smoke, snort, inject. What are you doing?
nah, I'm just smoking it.
Smoking the meth.
Oh, I'm not
smoking it.
injecting it. So
No, I never. That was never my.
me
thing.
neither. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So you start smoking meth.
Yeah, start smoking.
You have
meth.
kids?
And yeah.
How
we have
many?
Kids. Well, I have 2 stepdaughters and my son.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
How does that go downhill?
rapidly, within months, we're arguing. Where cops are coming to the house, the kids are crying. But we can't walk away.
So what do you do?
I continue smoking meth.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit. So your arguments and stuff, were they drug fueled?
Yes, very rage. Car windows being broken,
Yeah.
stuff flying out the window, and it's just very toxic. That's the most toxic relationship I ever been in.
How do you get out of it? How did you get out of it?
God took me. The last 2 years of that relationship, I cried every time I went in the shower, every day, and begged God to take me away from this woman, because I couldn't do it by myself. I
Right.
couldn't stop smoking. I would hear the kids in the living room playing, and I'm in the bathroom crying because I'm smoking and I don't want to smoke, but I don't know how to put it down. I can't stop. And until one day God said, I came here to Fort Myers to do some work.
Did you stop then?
And no. So, so July 12th was the day that I arrived here to do this work, and I overdosed on fentanyl. And
You were beat up and robbed,
I
too.
was beat up, I was robbed, and I woke up getting kicked in the face
Yeah.
by a woman that was in the room. And I remember she was there in the beginning, but there was other people there that weren't there. So I couldn't walk, I couldn't stand up.
This whole thing started like a good time, correct?
It started
You're
as
in
a-
a hotel
as a good
room.
time.
You came down to do some work. You
Yeah.
figured you'd do some partying, and then
It always
they turn on
starts
you.
at a good time.
Yep. And
They steal your car.
they stole my car.
They stole your money.
They stole everything.
Everything.
And
What do you do?
So I get my car back the next day somehow. And
You didn't end up in the hospital?
And yes, I ended up in the hospital. and I'm sitting outside by the bus stop at Lehman, and the girl drives by in my car, and I'm like, oh my God.
It's a small
So
town.
I start walking, and I caught up with her at the parking lot of Didi's and all that, where
Right.
that place is at. So I had to like literally physically fight for my car keys. And so I drive down to the other side of the bridge. I park at the racetrack, and I slept for 2 days in that parking lot. And I woke up, I had a flat tire, I had no money, and my wife, I finally got in contact with my wife. She don't want nothing to do with me. And somehow I rent a hotel room for a week.
How do you do that without money?
My cousin.
Okay, so you had help.
My cousin, actually, my wife called him, and he showed up at the
Okay.
racetrack. And so I'm running around with these two guys that I meet at the hotel, and I'm still getting high because one of them is. So I'm driving them around doing sales, and they stole my car one day, and I was like,
You
I
don't
had
keep track of the vehicles very well.
My clothes, my phone, my wallet.
Yeah, everything's in the car.
Everything was in the car.
So now what?
So now I walk to the state highway police station behind the truck stop. And I was like, listen, I have a colostomy bag. They just stole my car. I have no bags. I have no clothes. So I end up in the hospital again. And this is where God comes in for me. Because the lady from the hospital is like, okay, Mr. Rodriguez, you're free to go. And I'm like, I have nowhere to go. You know, can you call my wife to see if she'll come get me? And she comes back and she says, your wife is not coming. She tells me you have a drug problem. And I'm like, so does she. You know, I'm still blaming her.
No, so does she.
And she's like, well, if you want to go to a detox center, I could probably help you out with that so you can come up with a game plan. And I was like, okay, I'll go to a detox. They'll give me a couple of days to think about what I'm going to do. And
See, God takes from us everything
Yes.
until we have nothing left but to pick up
Yes.
the kit of spiritual tools
had
that we don't
nothing.
even know are at our feet.
yeah, nothing. And that's when I surrendered in the
That was-
detox center.
And what date was that?
That was July 23rd,
Of what year?
2023.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so
So-
then you got sober and like everything's fine, right?
I wish.
Now,
No.
so the process started from there. You went to detox
Yeah.
with a local detox state-funded organization here in Florida, or here where we are in Fort Myers. From there, they put you into a 28-day program.
Yes.
What happened after? What started? Give us now the good stuff here. What happened?
So, you know, I first of all, I surrender. I surrendered to God, and I asked God for this. I said, God, I know I've been here before. This was the lowest of the lowest rock bottoms I ever hit, because no matter what I always went through, my family was always there. But this time they weren't there. So even though I begged God to take me away from, I still didn't want to lose my family, you know. But I said, I promise you this time, if you just guide me through this journey, because if everything felt different this time, you know, everything was different, man. And I, after a couple of days of sleeping and really thinking about what I was gonna do, I was like, if I go out again, I'm probably gonna die. So I just started doing the work, man. And
Well, the work for you, if I'm not mistaken, was going from detox to a 28-day program, getting some information, and then from a 28-day program going to a men's sober living house, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Went to the halfway house. Ended up getting kicked out of the first halfway house, but that didn't like,
Why were you kicked out?
just arguing over food with somebody.
Okay.
But that didn't like make me want to relapse or anything like that. You know, I was like, man, like, all right, God, what's next? And Found another halfway house to go to, and it was good in the beginning. And then, you know.
It was good for a while, wasn't it?
It was good for a while. Yeah, it was good for a while.
Had a single room?
Yes, had my own room actually,
Yep.
so that was good. So it's been stages, man, where I feel like God, whenever I get to a place, God is like, okay, you got to upgrade. You got to like, there's more.
Do some more work.
There's more than this.
Well, more importantly is you established a close connection with a power greater than yourself that you call God, and that you got a sponsor and you started working some steps, because that was the answer. I'm trying not to put words in your mouth, but I'm just trying to say that this is what we do. Yeah. This is how we don't have a drinking problem. I got a thinking problem, and if I change the way I think, then I change the way I live. And all of a sudden our thinking starts to change. What's life like today?
I love life, man. Listen, one of the best, God has blessed me in many ways. And one of the best ones is that I can help other people, you know, today. I couldn't help myself 2 years ago.
How do you do that? How do you help other people?
You know, service work really was a big part of my recovery journey and sobriety. I started making coffee here a year and a half ago, 6 months in. And I loved it. I loved, you know, interacting with everybody, addicts, homeless people. And he really just like took me to the next level without even, you know, realizing that that's what, service work was doing for me.
Come here every Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. If you're listening from out of state or out of town or out of the country, we're broadcasting from Grace Church in downtown Fort Myers. And every Sunday, you'll see Edwin, the big smile on his face when you walk through the door for Sunday service. And he's there with a smile and a kind word and a cup of coffee. And you're also starting your own little snippet reels on the Facebook. Is that correct?
Yes.
And what's that about?
Very exciting. So I want to interview pretty much everybody I know here, man. You know, like, because I know when I was in the first halfway house, and I got my first phone, and I would look for recovery content, and watching those interviews, they impacted me. And
what's this called?
Bridging the Gap with Arlette and Edwin.
Okay, Bridging the Gap with Arlette and Edwin. And how do they see that?
Well, we haven't posted anything yet, but we're gonna be on TikTok, IG, and Facebook. Yeah.
All right, give Edwin a big round of applause. Edwin, stay right here. All so right. If you can look into the camera, which you can't see, but the camera's right underneath that big screen, and somebody asked you that they were down and out and they needed help, what would your suggestion be to them?
Run to God.
Very good. Ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, we have Kimmy's Corner. You're listening to Rated R for Recovery, ratedrforrecovery.com.
Struggling with life's challenges? At The Next Step, we're here to guide you to a brighter tomorrow. Whether it's counseling, recovery support, or simply finding hope, we provide the tools and community to help you rise. Take the first step toward healing today. Visit thenextstep.org and discover how we can support your journey to wellness. Remember, every step forward is a step toward a better you. The Next Step, your path to hope, starts here. With offices in Fort Myers and Naples, 844-639-8371.
Have you been charged with a crime? You could face serious penalties for conviction, and it is vitally important that you have skilled legal assistance on your side during this time. Call Brian L. Edwards, Esquire, Attorney at Law today. 888-512-6254. Results matter. With a track record of success, our methods are tried and true. Mistakes happen, but we can help. Brian L. Edwards, Esquire, Attorney at Law. Visit FortMyersCriminalLawFirm.com or call 888-512-6254.
Feeling trapped in addiction? White Sands Treatment Center offers more than just detox. We build lasting recovery. With 3 inpatient and 18 outpatient locations located throughout Florida, we offer services from medically supervised detox to inpatient, outpatient, and sober living programs. Our services include individual therapy, family therapy, life skills, and small group sizes. Our amenities include yoga and massage therapy with recreational activities, including gyms, pools, and spa. Newsweek has named White Sands one of America's best addiction treatment centers 5 years in a row. You deserve quality care in a safe, supportive setting. Call White Sands Helpline at 833-423-2338 or visit whitesandstreatment.com and start your recovery journey today.
Not everyone has the luck of the Irish. If a friend or family member is in trouble, call Shamrock Bell Bonds. Put our number into your phone, 239-332-2245, 239-332-2245, or go online at gobailmeout.com. Shamrock Bell Bonds provides fast, reliable service. Shamrock Bell Bonds, 1528 Broadway, downtown Fort Myers. Look for the Shamrock, and maybe luck will be on your side.
Hello, I'm Michael Manzi, owner of JCI Solutions, 239-672-2673. When starting this company 3 years ago, I had no clue that we would grow to what we have become. There is one thing I can say that we have done from the beginning is take pride in our work, making sure every customer we do work for is satisfied from beginning to end. Offering residential painting all the way to commercial painting with jobs done in a timely manner, with highly skilled professionals giving you top-of-the-line work. To help you create your new look, call JCI Solutions, 239-672-2673.
Struggling with addiction? You're not alone. At Phoenix House Project, we believe in second chances and brighter tomorrows. Our proven programs offer support, hope, and tools to rebuild your life. With expert care and a community that understands, transformation starts here. It's time to rise, reclaim your life, and become the best version of yourself. Visit phoenixhouseproject.squarespace.com today or call 239-244-7876. The journey to recovery begins with sober living. Phoenix House Project, where hope takes flight.
Kimmies Recovery Zone, where hope meets action. We're here to guide the journey from treatment to thriving, healthy living. With peer support, public education, and vital resources like housing, employment, and Narcan training, we're building stronger communities. Ready to make an impact? Together, we're creating a network of recovery, resilience, and renewed lives. Kimmies Recovery Zone, your hub for healing and hope. Visit us online today at kimmiesrecoveryzone.org. It's not how we survive, it's how we thrive.
When children have to play inside so they don't disappear.
Welcome back to Rated R for Recovery.
Calling all angels.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Rated R for Recovery, ratedrforrecovery.com. This segment of the show we affectionately call Kimmy's Corner. Please welcome Al Kinkel, founder of Kimmies Recovery Zone.
Hey.
Now, before we go any further and meet our next guest, we want to remind you to get a raffle ticket. Mark, where are you, Mark? Put your hand up. Mark's in the back. Mark's got raffle tickets. So if you don't,
still doing
and they're
homemade
free.
raffle tickets?
Huh?
Don't forget your tickets.
So
Get your tickets.
So get a raffle ticket. If you don't have a raffle ticket, go back and get one, and you can win thousands of fabulous prizes, ladies and gentlemen.
Are we still doing homemade raffle tickets?
No.
Because I have raffle tickets at home.
We have real.
I'll be happy to bring
me too.
them. Okay.
We do. So right now, this is Al, and Al, why don't you introduce our next guest?
I sure will. Did anybody hit the lottery? Mark, did anybody? No, nobody hit the lottery? Okay. I guess nobody here did anyway.
I know.
Well, good evening. Good to see you all. Welcome to Kimmy's Corner. Tonight we have a special guest here, a friend of mine for many years, and a great advocate for us, and also a big leader in this Southwest Florida area. And he can tell you a little bit more about that. But when I first met Joe, we were at a meeting, and he happened to get an opportunity to talk. So he's not going to mix words tonight. He's going to give us a lot of information, and I think it's going to be very helpful. Joe has been with Centerstone now since 2022. He's an adjunct with FGCU. He started 2015. And you can tell us a little bit about that. But let's talk about Centerstone and some of the great programs you have in there for the veterans and the homeless and all that kind of stuff. So why don't you go through that a little bit? And I got cue cards for you if you need.
That sounds good. Well, thanks, Al. I appreciate it. Thank you to everybody for having me here. I just want to start again with some gratitude. I have never been to a Rated R for Recovery meeting. And I agree with you. I agree. Al's looking at me to inspire you, but as I'm looking out at this crowd, I am completely inspired. Edwin, you're amazing. Outstanding. Thank you. I agree. And before I go any further, I just want to mention to you that a lot of what I heard in your story was an overarching theme of a lack of self-worth, having issues with self-esteem, hiding behind substances in order to not feel. And then when you have to face those demons because the substances are gone, you still are dealing with what those feelings are, good, bad, and different. But I want to tell you, you're priceless. You're priceless. And every single one of you in this room, I am so grateful to see your faces, not just here, but here today and being here tomorrow. So thank you. I am so honored to be a part of this, and hopefully I can share something of value with you all tonight. So the original question was a little bit about Centerstone. Centerstone, for those who are not familiar, is a national nonprofit behavioral health care provider. We are actually in the process of a major merger with another company called Brightly at the moment, which will make us the nation's first and largest nonprofit behavioral health provider at $1 billion annual revenue. Yes. We're very excited, and sometimes there's some questions of, are we growing just to grow? And that's not the case. I'll share with you, and Al knows, as you mentioned, I don't mince words. I'm very fortunate to be with a company that truly cares about its mission, and its mission is people, humans. We provide a lot of services for humans, and it's provided by humans, which means we're fallible, we're not perfect. But the company recognizes that and gives us the ability to connect locally. So we may have, starting in November, roughly 10,000 employees, but the whole idea is when you feel our presence, you're feeling like you're with a family, a local family. And that's what Centerstone truly is all about in a nutshell. So some of the programs that we offer down here are outpatient clinic. We have what's called a Certified Community Behavioral Health Clinic. That is a federal grant. Fancy name. Essentially what it means is that we provide whole person integrated care. My team knows I have two lines in the sand. One of them is how we treat our community partners, and the other is how we treat everybody who walks in our doors. And my hope, and if this is not the case, then you now know me and can come find me. My hope is that when you walk through our doors, you feel like the human you are, good, bad, ugly, everything. And it feels like a family to you. We may not be perfect all the time, but the idea is we're going to be right beside you in whatever your recovery journey looks like. So that's a nutshell of what our clinic is about. We provide mental health and substance use services for adults and children. And then we also have several targeted community-based teams. For example, the homeless outreach team. We've worked with Lee County for about 4 years, almost 5 years at this point, with Fort Myers Police, Lee County Sheriff's Office, and being the treatment arm and the outreach arm. And I'll probably have an opportunity to share a story or two, but through that program and a former program we had that was called assisted outpatient treatment or court-ordered outpatient treatment, somewhat controversial, what I found through both of those programs is that connection is the key. In addition, my time as a probation officer taught me the same thing. We may be able to tell you what we believe you should do to, quote unquote, fix your problem, but that's our perspective. Ultimately, for example, as a probation officer, I could tell you what to do for as long as I had court jurisdiction over you. But the day you're off probation is the day I find out if I made an impact for you or not. Because you could turn around and say, nope, done, going right back to what I did. And then I failed in my job. So that's really what we try to focus on, is building that connection with individuals and letting them know that it's not what we think for you. It's what you need and how we can stand beside you and bring additional skills, resources, and knowledge to you to get you to where Edwin is today. And it's different for everybody.
Yeah. So you meet us where we're at, basically, and I know your group worked with the hot team with you several times, and your group, and I can tell from who you have working with you and working for the community. Basically, we all work for the community, and each one of these people in here are the community. So, but I can tell that they work from their heart. They really do care, And I think that's the strength of what's going on here. This is really, really something else. I've never seen anything like this in the years. I've been here since 2001. I've never seen so many people getting involved in trying to help. And if you look at what's going on here and everywhere across the nation is mental health. You know, we have all kinds of different things going on. We have cancer, we have bad hearts, we have this, that, and the other thing. And somebody might get mad at me if I say it, but everybody has some sort of mental health substance going on. Something's happening. I know when I was a kid, I had something, and in those days, you would tighten your belt and go to bed, you know, or smack you to bed. But at any rate, you know, today it's different. We're really searching for the answer. So with Centerstone, Joe, because of the magnitude of the people that we have to take care of, how many people do you see within a year in your operation?
Well, when I started with Centerstone in February of 2022, this area had roughly about 6 programs and 40 staff. We served about 500 to 600 folks, mostly through what we call the FACT team, which is Florida Assertive Community Treatment, and that works with adults with severe and persistent mental health issues who, without the wraparound daily, sometimes multiple times a day interaction from the team, would presumably either be in jails or state hospitals or in crisis units or not here at all. And that team served about 100, and we had 2 of those teams. So as we expanded, and again down here we really expanded to try to fill gaps. That's where the homeless outreach team came in. That's where assisted outpatient treatment came in. To fill several gaps in the community and folks who were getting out of crisis units and didn't have services or maybe didn't want to engage or see the value in engaging in treatment. So we started to build programs, and up until, I would say, as of this last end of our fiscal year, which was the end of June, we served with about 100 staff, 13 programs. We increased to just under 1,700 individuals served throughout the year.
Wow.
Yeah. I've actually heard of the FACT team, and I know a few people who were involved in that with some good experiences.
Yeah, it is. And a lot of times what we see with, again, I'm kind of going down this theme tonight of connection. What we see is many of these adults with severe and persistent mental illness, either their families, and I say this cautiously, but either their families get exhausted in dealing with them, or they sometimes just don't want to do it anymore. So we become their de facto family. And what's also important for us as a company and of course as a FACT team is to connect with other agencies like Kimmies, like our local academies, like our churches. Whatever recovery looks like for that individual, we want to create that social connection.
Yeah, and I think, you know, all the families that are here now and all the people that are here now that have been down this road that we call recovery, you know, I think we need to stick with them as long as we can and find some place like Centerstone or Kimmies Zone and find some place where they get help. Again, just going back a few years, you know, in this area there was nothing really here. I used to call up who was the leader in those days in Solace Care, and Mr. Lewis was a great guy, really, really good guy, but he was saying, Al, you know, there's just no services here. You really have to go, you know, somewhere else to get help because there was really nothing here. That's not the case today. I mean, we collaborate with so many different people, and we're trying to help. And one of the things, Joe, that I'd like to ask you, you know, the homeless situation, the way it is now, and since the governor signed that paperwork and closed down the camps, we just was in one, was 27 people living there. And we have a big interest in that. And, you know, we did John Buffard did a documentary on that with us. And so our interest there, is there any thought you have about the homeless and what direction we're going to go into maybe to help those people? Because again, you have, you know, I can't put a label to it, but I'll just say you have a mental health situation, but you have an addiction situation. It's all thriving in those camps. And we dug deep in those camps and brought some people home, so to speak. In fact, real proud of doing that because it's not that easy because we're limited with what we can do. So what's your thoughts on the homeless and how do we get to the bottom of that problem?
How much time do we have?
Yeah.
Well, I'm also fortunate to be a member on the governing board of the Lee County Continuum of Care. So I do have, I don't want to say influence, that's the wrong word, but some inside knowledge and some impact there. But I will tell you that this is going to be kind of a non-answer, but we need to eliminate black and white thinking. Yeah. We need to eliminate the "you're homeless, so you're a problem" thought. We need to also eliminate the "you're homeless, so you have a mental health issue," or "you're homeless, so you have a substance use issue," or "you're homeless, so you have any type of issue."
Not true.
It's not true. And that black and white thinking is actually what makes it the most difficult to get folks where they need to be. I truly try to approach every situation with a quote that was asked of me maybe 3 years ago at this point. I was in a training and an individual said to me, "In general, do you believe people are doing the best they can with what they have?" And I was like, hell no, absolutely not. People should be doing better, you know, in many different ways. People could certainly put in more effort. And then I started to really reflect on that over the next few days. And I recognized that that's exactly how we should be thinking about others. There are going to be many people in this world, homeless, not in recovery, struggling with mental health issues, making poor decisions in general, who you are never going to change. And that's okay, that's their choice, and they understand those consequences. But there are also that many more people who are dealing with issues that if they just had a caring hand, might actually take a step towards you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So,
say that, man.
Yeah.
Come on, say it loud.
I mean, and that's what worked for me. I was 16 years old, I was pregnant, I didn't know what to do, and there was a service in my town that paid me minimum wage while I got through school. And I became a nurse, I got that hand up, and except for the addiction problem that came down the road, you know, it helped. It was a hand up when I needed help and didn't know what to do.
You don't know what's going to turn somebody around. That's what we can't give up. We shouldn't give up. We just, no matter what happens, if certain things happen and they have to disappear and they go run away, so to speak, and go in hiding, you know, we want to try to look for them and keep giving them that opportunity that we are there, we will stand by you, but we'll also get you some help, you know, and that's what you do a great job of doing that. And there was one thing when we're talking about that just really set my hair on fire, and I don't have any hair.
Yeah.
So
that explains where it went.
Burnt my head. But I saw it the other day, the gray something now, where people over 50 years old, 60 years old, 82 years old now are becoming homeless because of the rent. They retired, and then they go try to spend some time in one of these dementia homes or something like that at $15,000 a month. You know, so so these people are winding up. It was on CNBC the other day. I looked it up, and holy mackerel, man, it's really. So what I first started in and around this, mental health was there, and now it's there. It's going all the way down. And like you say, there's many things that prompt us. We're talking about what you were saying today. That trauma that we get as a youngster or a young person, or whenever you get trauma, it's really hard to get rid of that. It's really, really hard. So I commend you and everybody in this room that made it out the door. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, give Joe a nice round of applause. Thank you for
so much.
coming. Pardon me, in lieu of time, we're going to have to take a break right now. When we come back, we have Bill Metz from Hope by Song going to entertain us. You're listening to Rated R for Recovery and RatedRforRecovery.com.
This year marks our 4th annual Party in the Park to support National Recovery Month, and we're thrilled to host it at a new location. There's so much to be excited about, especially the incredible collaboration from leaders and organizations who are coming together to support those in need. We are honored to welcome Senator Rusin, Fort Myers City Mayor, the FMPD Chief, the Director of the Lee and Collier County Homeless Coalition, and the CEO of the Center for Progress and Excellence, along with the support of the Lee County Sheriff's Department. One very meaningful part of our event is our Circle of Remembrance, where we speak the names of loved ones we've lost and lift them up in a special prayer. It's a sacred moment for our community. We are grateful to our sponsors that helped us plan this event.
This gentleman next to me, come over here, please, would you, so you can get in the camera. This gentleman next to me, on a moment's notice, will help anybody, well, regardless, I'm not saying regardless of what it is, I'm sure you have boundaries, but he is one of my favorite entertainers. He and another friend of ours started an organization called Hope by Song. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Metz.
Thank you you said you thanked me, but I'm telling you, I'm glad to be able to be here and do this. You are all inspirations. So I use music to heal myself in a lot of ways, and what I also write. So this song is, I lost a friend a bunch of years ago, and it was one of those people that I just I wasn't through with them. I still needed them, and they were gone. And I needed to have a conversation with death to help me deal. This song I wrote is called A Conversation with Death. It was a hot summer day on a long dusty road. I was on the way to see my daddy. He has lived all alone down a purgatory road since the day that my mama passed away. But something seems amiss. I can't tell what it is, but the chill in this hot summer air don't seem right. So I turn around to see what the trouble might be. I find myself staring death right in the eye. Her eyes burned like fire, voice like a cool mountain stream, and the air smelled of sweet fertile ground. I fell down on my knees, I gave out a primal scream, 'cause I know that's where my body's bound. There was nowhere to hide. Why me? Why now? I cried. I want to say I love you to my children one time more. Or let me do one more good deed, or maybe just plant a seed before you leave me all alone at death's door. She said, I know that you think that I am evil. You don't understand the things that I do. But of this have no doubt, it ain't me you need worry about. It's time and it's fate coming to get you. Then she said, honey, don't you worry none. Your time here is not yet done. I can't say more than that, but this I will confide. Oh, then that woman death leaned in close. I could feel her breath. She said, fear is your enemy. Let love be your guide. Let love be your guide. And then she touched me. It wasn't cold like I thought it'd be, but filled me with a peace of mind I couldn't believe. I closed my eyes, took in the feeling, the whole world started reeling. When I opened my eyes, it was a cool summer's eve. My mind was all hazy. I thought that I was going crazy. I ran to my daddy's house filled with an unexplainable joy. And there he was, standing at the door. He said, boy, what you so late for? I cried on my daddy's shoulders like a little boy. I don't know how, and I don't know why. Lord knows that I don't know when I will find myself naked and alone at death's door. Oh, but my talk with death that day, I am not afraid anymore. I'm not afraid anymore. I am not afraid anymore. With love as my guide, the good Lord at my side, I am not afraid anymore.
Well, that was awesome. That was awesome. So listen, before anybody goes any further, now this is a time to take out your phones and go to YouTube and like and subscribe. Rated R for Recovery. Would you do one more song?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. Bill Metz, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks. Another song about dealing with some stuff. A friend of mine, like this was right after Ian. And we know there are still people out there reeling from that one. But right after Ian, like a friend of mine lost absolutely everything. He even moved his car higher to higher ground and a tree fell on it. House got washed away, everything in it. And he was a musician and had recorded hundreds of songs, and he wanted to give them to his grandson, who is a guitar player and singer. It's a legacy, and they all got washed away. And I started thinking about legacy. So this is what this song is about. It's about legacy. More light, less darkness on the paths that I now tread. More joy, less sorrow when my spirit's flown and this tired old body lay dead. More giving, less taking, more faith than fear, more trust than doubt, oh God. More light, less darkness on the paths where my feet have trod. I do not know if when I pass that I'll be able to look back on this life that I'm living here on earth, to see the fruits from the seeds that I have sown here and there since the days of my birth, or the ripples from the stones that I have thrown without thinking into the eternal sea. But if I could, I know exactly what I would hope and pray to see. More light, less darkness on the paths that I now tread. More joy, less sorrow when my spirit is flown and this tired old body lay dead. More giving, less taking, more faith than fear, more trust than doubt, oh God. More light, less darkness on the paths where my feet have trod. Standing at the gate or walking through a tunnel toward a light on that fateful day, or meeting some great winged spiritual being to guide me on my way, or floating away on some ethereal wind carrying me to who the hell knows where. But if my life flashes before my eyes, there's but one thing I want to see there. More light, less darkness on the paths that I now tread. More joy, less sorrow when my spirit is flown and this tired old body lay dead. More giving, less taking, more faith than fear, more trust than doubt, oh God. More light, less darkness on the paths where my feet have trod. More light, less darkness on the paths where my feet have trod. Thanks,
Once
folks.
again, ladies and gentlemen, Bill, I can't thank you enough. And anytime you want to come on and be part of what we do, you're always welcome here. Next week, we have a violinist that you were doing a celebration for. I don't know if you call it a celebration, a memorial to the people that passed away on September 11th in New York, and the people that are recovering from that situation all over the world. So you're welcome to come and be part of that. You can come by anytime you like.
Thank you very much.
So, yes, a young lady named Luna will be playing violin next week. That's our friend Dr. Phil, his daughter. And that's so you're welcome. And give Bill another round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go. The people that are here in the audience, don't go anywhere, because what? We're ready to give away thousands of fabulous prizes with our raffle, everybody. And for those of you at home, thanks for watching. We'll see you again next week.